Hi there, I'm Dr. Stephanie Falk, and today I want to talk about the power and importance of little apologies. So we have little A's and big A's, that really has a ring to it. So little apologies are recognizing that we have impacted our partner, our kid, our uncle, whoever we're in a relationship with. It acknowledges we've impacted them, but it doesn't mean and assume that we've done some horrible, awful, morally wrong thing. And big A's are bigger apologies that acknowledge that we've done something really wrong and we need to make appropriate repair for that. We need to show remorse. We need to really repair the situation in the best of possible ways and put quite a bit of energy into it. But I think that as people, we kind of are at a deficit around using those little apologies. And unfortunately, we group, this is my explanation at least, I think that we group those little apologies with big apologies. And so we don't want to admit that we're these miserable, awful people that have done these morally wrong things, day in and day out. But that's not what a little apology is all about. A little apology for me is about acknowledging that there was a bit of a miss and that, we're sad that there was a bit of a miss. And it could mean that just our tone of voice was a little off. It could mean that we snapped a little bit. It could mean that our partner asked us to take out the trash or to go to the UPS store for them and we weren't able to accomplish that day. It may be that other really great things came up. Not a big deal, but rather than just explain, hey, some other stuff came up so I wasn't able to get that done for you, how about, hey, sorry, I wasn't able to get that done for you. I would have loved to have, but some other things came up. What does the implementation of that sorry do? It says, I care about you. It says, I acknowledge that my behavior impacted you. So even though it wasn't some awful, morally wrong thing that we need to show tons of remorse around and a bigger kind of apology around, we're still acknowledging that because things came up and we couldn't take out the trash or we couldn't drop something off at a store or take something back, that it impacted our person, that we care about our person. So I think that it would be super helpful if we all became a little bit better at differentiating between what is just a little apology that says I care about you and there was a miss and I'm sorry about that miss, but doesn't assume anything about our character or anything about our decision making, doesn't assume that we've done some horrible thing. Differentiating those little A's from the big, more morally wrong things that we can do as people. If we were able to better differentiate and have two different buckets of apologies, I think that we would utilize those little ones a lot more often. And in doing so, we would show a little bit more emotional attunement and care to one another. And we could stave off bigger conflicts that might escalate from a lack of acknowledgement that we impacted our person because we weren't able to do something or because we had a tone that was a little bit off. I don't know about you, but I know that I can get tired and cranky sometimes. And there's even a rule in my house that I don't have any important discussions past 10 o'clock at night because I just don't function well past 10. I'm more of an early bird. So we set up these protective factors because I know that I can tend to be cranky. For instance, maybe I'm tired and cranky and it's 9:30 and one of my kids needs something and I, snap a little bit. Not good that I snapped, but it's not some horrible, awful, morally wrong sort of thing that I've done. It's simply a little apology. So if one of my kids came up to me and said, hey, can you do this or can I do that? And I said, hey, it's 9:30, I'm tired. I don't want to really respond like that. To me, that's a little bit snappy. If I were able to say, hey, wait a sec, it's totally okay that you asked, but mommy's a little bit tired and I'm sorry that came off snappy. That could solve the problem in a really one quick statement. So hopefully I've given you an example of what a little apology is. Another example could be that, I asked someone to take out the trash, they're not able to do it. If they come back to me later in the day and they say, hey, mom, wasn't able to do that. Sorry, I couldn't get that done for you, but someone called and they really needed me. Not a big deal. They didn't do anything morally wrong. They did more than just explain themselves. They added an apology in there, which says that I care about you and I care about the miss that we had. And what does that do for me? That helps me to understand that that person cares about me. And I appreciate that they recognize their impact on me. I think that if we could give a little bit more little apologies, we would stave off bigger and bigger ones adding up together collectively and huge conflicts in relationships. So again, a little apology is about just a miss, and a big apology is about something morally wrong, which we didn't really talk about today, but I hope that you can start to differentiate those two and implement a little bit more casual and confident and quick little apologies in your relationships, because I think that the benefits are really great, and that you'll see a little bit better connection and communication in your relationships. I hope that you are having a great day. I appreciate you tuning in. And if you don't want to miss a video, feel free to subscribe. And thank you so much.